People are probably wondering, well, you guys are talking about plastic, and we know it's obviously destroying the environment, which is crucially important, and nature, and it's in the seas, air, water, and soil. But what is it doing to our bodies now? So maybe you've got some research or some science. You can tell us how it's destroying our health. I did do an Instagram reel on that. We probably eating a credit card of plastic, which is about 5 grams every single week. You might have some up-to-date stats on that. But what is it doing to our health?
So, what is it doing to our health? So, I would like to kind of start talking about the plastic chemicals. So, what I was just saying in the beginning, plastic is just a bunch of chemicals that binds this material that makes this material called plastic. And we have let's think about food packaging. So there has been about the last 50 years, there's been big studies into human health and the chemicals that migrates from plastic. So we have been looking at, especially in Switzerland and in Germany, they've been doing many, many studies about this. There's a specific place called the Food Packaging Forum, who have actually just released a new report on food contact plastics. So they found that the 15,000 chemicals that they found within the food safe packaging, 2,500 had a concern of hazardous chemicals, and what they realized that when you have food, specifically food packaging like cheese or your beverage or your coffee cup or whatever, when the temperature changes in that packaging then they have realized that the migration of chemicals will go into your food. So what they found was 90, I think nearly 100 chemicals that they knew the names of that had migrated into particularly food like that had a high fat content, like all your cheeses, your meats. And they tested, they did many tests on this. And what they found was that those chemicals in the women and the men and the children and the babies and the fetuses, they found was that we all had these chemicals within us. They obviously they obviously had migrated from the food packaging or from our environment, because when we have to talk about the chemicals, but we have to talk about the nano and the microplastic as well. So every time you open a food packaging, or you unscrew that bottle top, or you have you have a big packet that you cut open, all the micro and the nanoplastic will be within the air, and we breathe that. All the nanoplastics that's in our creams, in our tea bags, that we know that's in our tea bags, in our they even found that within the air freshener that you sometimes, when you go into a room, sometimes you get this little pop of smell, or your fabric conditioner. These are nanoplastic that they have created little bubbles that then releases the scent. So there's so many hidden nano and microplastics in our environment. So it's no surprise that we actually are breathing them, and they are ending up within our bodies. And they have been showing up in human tissues. So we have been working on the Plastic Health Council, actually, which is one of the things that I've spent a lot of time this year. One of the things that we have done is we have decided to bring these scientists to the negotiation on the global treaty on plastic, because we have just, we started off talking about the environment and how awful plastic has been to the environment. But we realized that when these negotiators are going to make a global treaty on plastic, they have to put human health in there. So we have brought a lot of scientists. The INC4, we brought Professor Lucas Kenner, who has had a groundbreaking study. He's an oncologist and been doing all his life, has been studying cancer. And what he had been finding the last 5 years, every time he operated a tumor out of his patient, he would find micro and nanoplastic within the tumor. And that made him think, what happens why are cancer or the cancer cells bringing these micro and nanoplastic along, trying to feed on it? And he found that they were accelerating cancer. So actually spreading the cancer cells were doubling with these nanoplastics, because what we said in the beginning, plastic comes from fossil fuel, which is a carbon, which is a natural something that our bodies recognize. So our bodies are thinking, that's food, I better bring this along. And actually it's something quite funny, not funny, but this week they had a big, everywhere in the UK, an article about actually them finding nanoplastic and microplastic in the testicles of dogs and humans.
Sure.
And so we know now that the body will hold these plastics, and we will not just get rid of them. They will actually, our body is taking it with us. So we are just on the cusp of finding out. A lot of scientists have studies that has found this.